Okay, this lesson is over irregular yo verbs in Spanish, in the present tense. So, some present tense verbs are irregular only in the yo form. They have different endings from the o ending of regular verbs, so they're not like regular verbs. So the following verbs will end in go in the yo form. We have hacer, poner, salir, and traer. Let's compare them to their two forms in order to see how they're irregular. So I put this chart here. On the top, we have all of those infinitives, and then I have to and yo, okay, so you can see the difference between the two. Okay, so hacer means to make or to do. The yo form of hacer is hago, and then the to form is haces. So notice that whenever after the yo form, that's irregular, I just take off the er and then add er endings, which for the to form is es. Okay, so then for poner, the yo form is pongo, and then after that, the to form is pones. For salir, the yo form is salgo, and then the to form is sales. The yo form of traer is super irregular because it actually adds an I in it as well. The yo form is traigo, and then after that it's traes. So after the yo form of these four verbs, you will conjugate everything else regularly, okay? So the yo form is the only one that's irregular. After that, everything else is regular. So you take the er off, or the ir off, and then add your er endings, okay? The following verbs also end in go in the yo form. Decir, venir, tener, and oír all end in go as well. All of these verbs are stem changing, but only decir stem changes in the yo form. So be sure to write these yo forms down on your notes, okay? And I'm also going to walk you through how to conjugate decir, venir, and oír in all the different charts, okay? So decir means to say or to tell. The yo form of decir is digo, then the to form is dices. Okay, so it does stem change still in the to form. However, after that, everything else is regular. So it's an ir verb, it gets ir ending, so the ir ending for the to form is an es. The yo form of venir is vengo, okay, and venir means to come. And then the to form is vienes, all right? Notice that the e stem changes to an ie. However, the ending is completely regular for the to form. The yo form of tener is tengo, and the to form is tienes. Now, oír is super irregular, and I'm gonna walk you through the entire chart in just a mere moment, okay? But the yo form of oír is oigo, okay? I've left the I in there, and I add go on the end. And then the to form is oyes. So I also leave the I in the to form, but I have to stem change it to a Y. All right, let's take a look at decir. So decir has several irregular forms, but the nosotros and vosotros forms are regular. Okay, so it's digo, and then everything else is stem changed regularly. Okay, so it's an ir verb. We're going to add ir endings. So it's tú dices, él dice, nosotros decimos. Notice that that's not a stem changed verb. Okay. Vosotros is decís, and then ellos, ellas, ustedes is dicen. All right. Venir looks almost exactly like tener. However, since venir is an ir verb, we're going to give it ir endings, where tener gets er endings. So the yo form of venir is vengo, then to is vienes, él viene, nosotros venimos, vosotros venís, and then ellos, ellas, ustedes is vienen. This should be a review for you. However, if you don't remember how to conjugate venir, be sure to write this down. Okay, oír is one that is super weird and irregular, okay? So basically what happens is that the I is left in the boot, okay? So we only take off the R, but every form in the boot except the yo form, it will change to a Y, okay? Then there are also accent marks over the I in the nosotros and vosotros form, okay? So the yo form of oír is oigo, okay? I'm I'm going to put an O in every other box, even though we know that we're going to have to include that I in the boot, okay? But we have to change it. So the to form is oyes, okay? So the I that's left in oír changes to a Y, okay? And then we add es because oír is an IR verb. The L form is oye. Then nosotros form is oímos. Notice that there's an accent over the I. Vosotros is oís. There's an accent mark over the I, but that is regular. There's always an accent over the I for IR verbs in the vosotros form. And then the ellos, ellas, ustedes form is oyen. Okay? All right. There are some other verbs that are also irregular in the yo form. Okay? Those are dar, ver, and saber. So we're going to look at them in comparison to their to forms, just to compare. Okay? So the yo form of dar is doy, and then the to form is das. Right? So after the yo form, the to form is regular. We take the AR off and then add AR endings for to, which is us. Okay? The yo form of ver is veil, and then the to form is ves. So the yo form is the only one that's irregular. And then the yo form of saber is se, but the to form is sabes. Okay? So the yo form is the only one that are irregular in all of these.